The host has started
Hello,
broadcasting.
everyone, and welcome to the August 2023 Explorer call from Aira. I'm Janine Stanley. I am the Director of Customer Success and Engagement here at Aira. And tonight we have a rather jam-packed call for you with information. So you can put your questions in the chat. We may be taking questions at the end if we have time. If you're on YouTube, you can also avail yourself of the comment form. But tonight we have with us our CEO, Mr. Troy Otillio. Hi, Troy.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are.
Awesome. And we have Jodi Barthel, who is our product manager. And Jodi and I will be talking a little bit later here in the call. Hi, Jodi.
Hi, Janine. Hi, everyone.
And we also have our Vice President of Blindness Initiatives with us this evening, Mr. Everette Bacon. Hello, Everette.
Hey, Janine. Hi, everybody.
Awesome. I am going to jump right in. We have a number of other Aira folks here on the panel, but I'm going to jump right in and hand this over to Troy and Everette to address some very important topics. Gentlemen.
Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to play a game. It's kind of for fun to get it started. I want you to raise your hand if you've been experiencing long wait times for agents, or if you've noticed that it's taking longer to get to an agent. And of course, I can't see you because you're not on camera, and it would be a question I don't really need to ask. I know the answer. The answer is, yeah, our wait times have gone up, and I wanted to talk about it. I've said it before, our goal is to provide frictionless visual interpreting, which is basically consistent and minimal wait times to reach an agent. I mean, that's the very basics. And in the past week and maybe in the past month, we internally measure by minute, by day, by hour, those wait times, and we have seen the increase. And at the same time, we can't help but notice that you've noticed, and for those of you on social media, Facebook, gosh, some of the threads are over 50 messages long. And we may not respond to those, but I'm telling you today, the CEO, the company here, we're working to resolve this. And we've had this situation before. There's times when the demand exceeds our capacity. And we have systems to anticipate that, but those systems did not meet the demand. And so Savannah, her team, I see on our panels, Jeff and Amanda, the team behind the agents have already been working to increase capacity, including hiring and training some more agents, making some other changes internally that we can adjust. And we expect to begin to see some material impacts coming in the coming weeks. And we'll remain focused on this until you're satisfied, until our internal measurements tell us that you should be satisfied. So if you feel the need to, continue to talk about it on social media, that is fine. I mean, that's, I appreciate, I think the whole company appreciates hearing from you all. I'll be talking about the conventions and a conference that we went to, and that's another great way to hear from you all. But our job is to, improve the service, and this is a degradation. So I thank you for your patience. And I just want you to know that we're working to resolve this even right now, like hourly as much as we can. So I think there's a couple things that you can do, perhaps, or know about. And I'm going to turn that over to Everette to talk about how we use the app.
Sure. Thanks, Troy. And I just want to, follow up what Troy is saying in the fact that we really do listen to you. We hear you. When you may not think we respond right away, but we are definitely listening to the way you communicate with us. And I think it's a testament to what a great CEO we have in Troy, that he will go and address this as quickly as possible in this Explorer call. So, one of the things that we noticed, some of you are power users. You do a great job. You know that when you call in, you have the wait time. And you know that if you drop off, you go back in the line. So, but some of you may have forgotten about that or don't realize that. So we want to definitely reinforce that you want to stay on the call. So when you call Aira Explorer from no matter which app, whether it be the Aira Explorer app, which we really want you to use because that's the new app, or the legacy app. It doesn't matter which one you use, but no matter what, when you call in, don't hang up. Stay on the line. You will be answered in the order you are received, and we'll get to you as soon as possible. But if you drop off, bottom line is you will fall back to the back of the line. And also remember that it doesn't matter if you call in from the Aira Explorer app or the Aira Legacy app. It's the same. So we take your call in the order received. So it doesn't matter which app you're using at the time. So we definitely want you to go forward with the new Aira Explorer app. We're going to show you some awesome demos on why that app is so neat, and we want you to migrate to that. But I think that kind of sums it up, Troy.
Yeah. And I had a couple stats I'd written down, and I didn't even look at them when I gave my opening. But we have seen a couple folks, and again, this does not solve the problem completely, but it does pain us sometimes to see someone call in, they wait for 30, maybe 40 seconds, and if they would have waited 2 more seconds, 3 more seconds, they would have been picked up, but they either in the app or in the call, and they come back in, and just so happens that someone got in front of them, and now they're in a longer wait time, and then they'll wait another 2 to 3 minutes, hang up. We literally saw this, and then come back in. And so and they would have been picked up on that second call if they would have waited another 30 seconds. So it's not your job to, work the system, but we're trying to make you all aware of how it works so you can have the best option. Our job is to close this capacity gap, and we will close it. It's not intractable. It's going to take some days and weeks to get there. So thanks again for your patience, and I think we can now move to the next topic.
All right. Well, I believe, Troy, that you and Everette and I and several other staff members attended some conferences in July. And for those people who did not attend the conferences, we want to give a little wrap up of what we saw, what we did. So I'm going to let you start that out for us.
Since we're thinking about time and wait time, how long do we have in this agenda to talk about the conventions and conferences? Because we can easily spend the next 2 hours.
Oh my goodness, we probably could. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. How about that?
All right, I want to include you all. So, wow, it is always the highlight of my year and anyone else, and maybe the whole company, not even maybe the whole company, when July comes, because that means we're going to be meeting face to face, and thank God COVID has subsided, because it makes travel and in-person experiences even better. I was personally just so glad that I could see more explorers at these events. So what did we do? We attended 2 conventions and 1 conference. So we had a team at ACB, so that was Janine and I. I split time between ACB and NFB, and that's where I was. If you went, you would have saw Kevin, our head of sales and marketing, Kevin Palin. You would have saw Marty Watts, Everette Bacon, and our new CTO, Jeffrey Peddle. I think that was a great experience for him, and we could talk just. We just stay on like everything he learned. Imagine joining a company, but not having all of that much experience, and gaining on your 3rd or 4th week, the interactions with the 2,500 or more folks that were at NFB. And after that, Kevin, Marty, and I, and Everette continued on to, we moved from Houston, which was warm, to an even warmer and stickier climate in the form of Orlando, Florida, where we went to Disability Inn. And you may go, what is Disability Inn? Well, that's a organization and then a conference that is focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion among the Fortune 500, the policies and procedures and support for not just accessibility, but a wider range of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we'll reflect on that. So that's what we did. I'll start with kind of our new tagline, or the one we introduced at convention, that was really interesting and exciting to see how people reacted. So at any of those conferences or conventions, if you would have came up to our booth or read our brochure or saw it was on our shirts. It was a very simple message. And that very simple message that was in white letters and large font in capital letters, it said, access is a human right. And it's also now on our business cards. And in fact, you wouldn't have seen the Aira logo, because the Aira logo was printed on our banner, kind of below waist level, and you really couldn't see it. And it was just interesting to see how people reacted to that message. I'll ask Janine and Everette to kind of give a little more color there, but that was a change. And I think it's the first time we've had, I think, strong demand for our t-shirts. We have had a lot of people ask, like, hey, how can I get that access to human right? And to be clear, what are we saying? We are saying that it's not Aira, like access in general. And that extends beyond blind and low vision, it extends to deaf and mobility, is a human right. And it's about how do we as a community and a much larger community, increase the advocacy, increase the recognition that providing forms of access, ultimately should and can be done for just the pure nature of it being a human right. And I think everyone here at Aira, definitely resonates that with that message. And I know explorers do as well. And it's just great to see, new to the concept of accessibility, especially disability, and how people reacted to that. We got a lot of folks who are interested in hearing more. In fact, I'll ask Janine and Everette just to comment on that, because I thought that was an interesting, something new in the way we talk about visual interpreting. Everette, how did you find that?
Thanks, Troy. The thing that I noticed the most is with regards to access as a human right is we were able to bring visual interpreting as a tool in your toolbox. It's an important tool. It's a tool that can definitely help you with independence in so many different ways. But we really focused on that it's one tool of many. We know that blind and low vision individuals, like myself, like Janine, we find tools all the time to help us increase independence and create that equality and opportunity and security that we all believe in. And so that's what it really meant to me. And it was really exciting to see the responses from so many of the people we met. I also want to say that I really appreciate the responses that I felt mostly at the National Federation of the Blind Convention, but also from friends all over the country about me being in this position and how Aira has done a great job of bringing on people who are blind. So I really appreciate that. It was awesome. I felt the love and the admiration from all of you, and it's definitely felt and definitely coming back to all of you as well.
And maybe Janine, I'll tee it up this way too.
Sure.
Let's go into ACB a little bit. You were there the full week. You and I were there. I was there the first couple of days. What was the reaction to that message, and then what notable outcomes took place?
Well, I would say the first reaction to the message was yes. And I'm putting my fist up in the air, folks, because that was the reaction to the message was, wow, that is a powerful statement. And it certainly was. And we want to thank ACB. They put out a resolution, and the full resolutions will probably be up on their website in September. But it was a resolution actually supporting visual interpreting, not Aira, but the field of visual interpreting. And that's huge to say that, and a consumer organization wants to support the concept of video the concept of visual interpreting. Still thinking about our video here. Anyway, that was wonderful. And we really want to thank ACB for that kind of support. We did have a workshop at both conferences. It was very well attended at both conferences, and lots of great questions and suggestions and opinions about things, and some fun giving away trivia prizes, right?
Yeah, and that resolution again came from the community, not from any direct action of Aira. And yeah, it very clearly said funding of visual interpreting services. should be advocated for by ACB. So it's up to each state, I guess, in terms of as it relates to Aira, to work with us to, to further that message. So we're excited about that. The other one I remember was the audio description, the ADP project.
Oh, yes.
There's some legislation, and the Telecommunications Act mandates, among other things, a certain percentage of programming be audio described. And the takeaway I got, Janine, was that as it relates to ACB, they'd like to have visual interpreting included in this legislation.
Yes.
And so that's really, just the start of our journey to, again, find additional ways to basically fund and make it possible for anyone to get the benefit of visual interpreting, independent of like their ability to pay.
Yes.
So excited about that, and hats off to Clark and Dan and for leading that.
And I have to say too, Troy, we met some of the folks from Alabama who are taking advantage of that state's really great offer to fund their Aira service. And boy, we got many congratulations on that. Got to meet some people from AIDB, the Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind. That was a great experience. So I really appreciated that.
All right, well, let's fly from Chicago down to Houston, where we were at the National Federation of the Blind convention, where got to see Everette in action, both as a board member, but also as a member of Aira. I doubt he's had a less busy convention ever. Everette, what are some of the things that we learned and took away from that conference?
Well, it was definitely, a fun experience to be on both sides of the table. I had never been in the exhibit hall where I was on the side of the table working with an organization like Aira in that realm. So that was a lot of fun. That was a neat experience. It was so neat to see how many people came up and talked to us and really wanted to be a part of us at the exhibit hall. We ended up we had one session scheduled, and we got another impromptu session, which was really exciting. And we got to talk about many of the different areas that we're looking at, whether it be with regards to expanding to artificial intelligence and looking at the right way to expand to that. But then also figuring out ways where we can increase our access partners and find ways to promote Aira all over the country in any way we can. It was neat to see the reception of Aira as the matching program for the Give 20 campaign that NFB had. Aira was asked if they would be a sponsor of the Give 20 campaign. So Aira would match up to $25,000 to the National Federation of the Blind, and the National Federation of the Blind members ended up getting over $30,000. So that was pretty exciting to see that. And then we also have a Museum of the Blind People's Movement, which Aira has agreed to be a sponsor of that and a donor for the Museum of the People's Blind Movement, which is going to be really exciting, because that's going to be a museum that represents all blind people from everywhere, and it will talk about the experience of blind people from start to where we are now.
So we're at the limit. I do want to talk briefly about disability, and the other thing that was announced across both NFB and ACB is the support for community subscriptions in the form of a added discount on top of the plans that we newly offered. Because if you joined ACB or NFB in the last 3 or 4 months, you only had access to what I think some of you calls the metal plans, the new plans, and even with the offset, we know that that's can be costly. So if you're a member of ACB or NFB, you can get an additional discount, if you need a new plan. We also announced that our existing customers on the legacy plans, those people who had a plan up through January and kept it, we're not, some folks are wondering, well, hey, are you going to raise pricing again in 2024? Is there going to be another change in what we're committing to? What I'm committing to is there will be no price increase in 2024. So whether you're on a metal plan, whether you're on a legacy plan, whether you're on a legacy ACB, NFB plan, whatever, we're not raising consumer pricing. And I was pretty clear, and I'll always be clear, our goal, the way we see the service growing is obviously financially we need to increase spending as we get more customers. We need more agents, we need more Everettes, we need more Jodis, like we need more folks to grow the company, and that of course takes money, but we don't seek to build that on the backs and the wallets of the individual. We seek to do that through the partnerships with companies and federal or state programs, and so we see no reason to raise the pricing, and especially as we continue to grow with your help, we're even in a better position to do that. So want to put to bed any questions or concerns that the current subscriber pricing will be going up. It's actually my goal to actually reduce the cost over time, either directly or indirectly, and we announced that as well. So I'll wrap it up with this because I know we have a lot more content. The other conference, the Disability Inn, was the largest of the three, 3,500 folks in Sticky, Orlando. We were very well received there. We had a booth. We were the only blind low vision service. Maybe Good Maps was there. There were a lot of deaf and hard of hearing services there, and we were able to demonstrate our product and get a lot more leads for employers and other companies who want to drive more accommodations and outcomes and hiring. So it was a very awesome experience. And the icing on the cake was that the Starbucks booth, which had about 10 or 12 people and a lot of giveaways, had a large screen playing a video. And so when someone come by our booth and said, well, what is Aira? Of course, we would describe it, but I would say if you really want to get a better demo, go over to the Starbucks booth where they were looping a professionally developed video showing the Aira experience in a Starbucks. So that made me really, really proud and excited that it's not just Aira, it's not just explorers, bragging or sharing the benefits of visual interpreting. It's one of the largest brands on the planet, I suppose, Starbucks. So I think there's a lot more we could say there. I was also excited to see more people there with canes, with dogs, because at some point, one of our challenges in expanding the service is just awareness. And when you're at a large convention and you see a lot of people there, you get to talk to a lot of people who are blind and low vision, that just helps grow the awareness. And it was very successful. I think we had at least twice the number of people there than we did last year who were, blind and low vision. So ultimately, it was a great trip. I needed a week to recover. Everett, a little younger, might a little less. Next time, I think, we'll have to make sure we're got a couple days to recover, because I was back at it as soon as we.
Next year, we're in Florida at the same time.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I wish I had my sound effects here so that we could get some applause, but also some, good travel music, because we're going to be on the road between Orlando and Jacksonville. And then, of course, Disability Inn is shortly after that. So
in Vegas.
Woo, all righty.
Okay, well, that I exceeded my allotment. I'll have to do better. Thanks, Janine.
That's
Janine.
okay. No problem. Well, actually, I want to go to Everett now just for a few minutes to talk about some of our new access partners. And then we're going to show you a little bit of how your input at all these conventions and through social media and through every other way you contact us has made a difference in the Aira Explorer app. So, Everett, we've got some interesting new promotions and trials and access partners here with us since we last talked in June.
We sure do, Janine. In fact, if you live in the Columbus, Ohio area,
woohoo!
Yeah, Janine, yeah, there you go. And you go to any Kroger store in the Columbus, Ohio area, I think it takes like some 12 stores in that area.
Yep.
You can use Aira for free at any of those Kroger stores. This is a pilot that we're working with Kroger on. We're hoping that we will be able to expand it out to every Kroger across the country. But we definitely, if you live in the Columbus, Ohio area, we're hoping you'll go to Kroger and give Aira a try. Tell us how it works. We know it's a great experience in some of those stores. We've also expanded our Starbucks coverage. So for quite some time, we've had it to where you can go to any Starbucks store and you can use Aira when you're there. But we know a lot of you order Starbucks online, and you want to go to your Starbucks app, or you want to go to starbucks.com and you want to order delivery, and you might even Starbucks has deals with Uber Eats and some of the other ones, DoorDash and things. But if you go to starbucks.com and you activate Aira, or you activate Aira from the Aira app and then allow the agent to go to starbucks.com, they can help you order it, and that whole entire process is free, which is pretty exciting. And just to kind of give you an idea, I know that we're going to be showing the Aira app. I was pretty impressed today. I was going on the Aira app, and one thing, there's a button there for Aira Access, free Aira Access. And once you go there, you go to activate that button, it opens up and it tells you the last Aira Access free you were at. Like for me, here in Salt Lake City, Utah, it showed me that I was at the Liberty Park where Aira was free last. But then it also has two different buttons. Like it has Aira Accesses that depend on where you're at by GPS location, and it'll tell you all the different places where Aira is free close to you, and you can spread that out. And then also it tells you, it activates like what Aira access you can go to from different places, like the Natural History Museum in Utah, or maybe at Ohio State campus, all kinds of different places. So lots of places where Aira is free. We want you to take advantage of that. It's right in the app for you to find out what is free and where you can use it. So, go take advantage of that. There's some great opportunities there. Back to you, Janine.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, Everette. And I know pumpkin spice season is coming. Oh boy, I love pumpkin spice coffee. So I'm pretty excited. And you can also order your Starbucks at Target and go through the Target drive-up system. And you can actually, people have walked to the Starbucks and gone to the specific spots where their pickup will be taken by the employees. They'll come right out to you and bring your bags and everything out, your Starbucks order, whatever you've got. You can learn more about all of that if you happen to subscribe or listen to the Access Matters podcast, where we talked to Steve Decker from Target. And Steve told us all about a lot of the accessibility services that they have. Well, now I am going to introduce Jodi Barthel. She is our product manager, and I'll tell a little story, and then kind of Jodi and I will talk a little bit about some of the things that we've been working on since the conventions. We heard one thing loud and clear at the conventions. You all thought the feedback process was a little challenging, and so we fixed it. So very exciting. And we see a question here on YouTube, and we will get to that as soon as I talk to Jodi. But Jodi, let's talk about the dev team, and you and our beta testers have been working really hard to revamp the feedback process since the conventions, right?
Yes, we have, Janine. We've heard it loud and clear. So just knowing, as a reminder, the best way to always tell us what's going on is to submit feedback. I think since I've started here, I've always told you all that to the team and I, it's very important that we build with you and with this community, not for you. So we've been listening with hands on the ground at the convention too. We were able to just revamp it all, and we'll go ahead and do a demo in just a little bit. But outside of that, Janine, do you want me to talk about, before we get to the demo, some of the other things that we've been working on as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's let folks know what you've been working on and what might be coming up in the very near future.
Awesome. We've just been working really hard on stabilizing. I'm sure everyone has seen, we've had the app Explorer, the Aira Explorer app out now since March, and it's almost like a new app based on feedback as we've been building and iterating on it. Screen share was huge. We know that. We've been hearing from people how great it is. All the use cases have been so exciting. I've even been shocked on the new things that we've found, how people have used it and unlocking doors. And so just really getting that stable. We do know the one thing that's hard with mobile is there's so many devices and so many different pieces of hardware that people use with that. So really getting that more stable is something that we really were focused on in the last few months. And then on the other side, I think sometimes it's hard. People have to a reminder is that Aira as a service, yes, Explorers on your end, I know that you have an app, but we also have a lot of other products that we're supporting. And one of them is the agent dashboard, which is what they use to answer the calls. And so we really worked on prioritizing some of the work around that with our Google Maps integration. And that will definitely impact you all with navigation. You'll see that improvements most likely in the calls. And so that was a big focus. And then those are like the big focus that we have. What's coming. I know I told you all, we saw some stuff on social media about, we said we're putting payment back. We are doing that. That's actually currently in development. So having the payment back right now, we know it's in legacy or you have to call care, but we want to put that in the Explorer app for you. We know that's a big gap. So you should be seeing that within the next few weeks. So we're definitely excited for that. The great news, Janine, is that for the first time, we are at about 50% of, we're really close of people, the daily active calls and the daily active users coming in from the Explorer app, which is super exciting and what we wanted people to do just because of all the new features and how great the experience is. So because of that, that makes us feel more confident. So one thing for everyone to know, as of September 1st, only for new downloads. We've already done this on the Google Play Store, but on the iOS store, we will be removing Aira Legacy for new downloads. For people who already have Legacy, you're not going to lose that. When we do decide to do that, we will give you at least a 60-day warning when that's coming. We have more gaps that we want to fill before we do that. But for now, just for the new downloads, that will be as September 1st, removed out of the store.
Yep.
So, yep.
This is really similar to what Microsoft did with Soundscape, folks. They took it out of the App Store, but you could use it for an extended period of time. So we're following that same model. So nothing different there. Well, Jodi, you and your team have been working really hard on actually kind of two parts of our system, both the agent side and the Explorer side. So I'm kind of excited here to show off the app. But first, we had a question from YouTube that I would love, Amanda, if you could read that question, and we're going to turn this one over to Everette because this is his specialty.
Absolutely. The question is there anything available to help us advocate with businesses for access?
Sure. Is there anything available? You're welcome to call me and or email me, and we can talk about ways for you to do that. But really, the best way is for you to just personally go and talk with the business owner or the entity that you would like to see Aira at. The best advocate is a user. So I think of users out there, going out and meeting with the local malls, local shops, local universities, government facilities, and it's just users going up and talking with facilities managers or store managers or things like that, and just telling them about Aira and kind of spreading that word, and that's really how it happens. But I'm definitely here to help you any kind of way to set up a meeting, reach out to a particular person through the phone or through the web. So yeah, please reach out to me, Everette, Everette. My mom and dad liked E's, so I have 4 E's in my name. Everette at Aira.io, and feel free to email me.
Right. Thank you so much, Everett. And anybody who's watching my video, I'm climbing around in the background here because I am getting ready to share my screen and show you all, before we get into any more questions or anything like that, to show you all the new feedback form. Now, what I'm going to be doing is putting in IraCast over the next several weeks some quick tips to show you some aspects of the new app. But we are right now going to share. And there we go. We'll share our sound. And we will share our video. And here we go.
Stanley has started screen sharing.
Slack.
And we're
Aira
going
Explorer.
to go
Aira
into
Explorer.
the
Beta.
Aira Explorer app.
Aira Explorer. Curtis gets his Kroger on.
And actually right now,
Close.
I am
Plus.
in
4.
the More tab
Open
in the
Safari
video
Reader.
screen.
Open Safari
But
Reader. Button.
where I'm going to go now is,
Group.
once I
Open Safari Reader.
get
Button.
out of all of this,
6-4. Dismiss pop-up.
there we go.
Close. Button.
Had my share sheet up, and that'll be something else that we'll talk about, is the new videos that we have. But for right
Back.
now,
Button. Shared successfully.
we are going
Back.
to go
Button. Photo gallery. Heading.
back to our
Image.
home screen.
Image title. We voted. Friday.
Home
July.
screen
We
button
voted.
down
Share.
at the
Button.
bottom.
Image title. Share. But back. Back. Button. More. Heading. Home. Home.
And here
Heading.
is our home screen. Now, what I want to show you about the home screen, it's very nice and clean. If you can see it there on YouTube, hopefully everybody is seeing my screen, but we've got that
Janine,
big old, oh,
we're not able to see your screens.
Oh no, you're not able to see my screen. Well, at least you can hear it.
I
And
think
that
you have
is-
screen curtain on.
Oh,
Attach
you know
message or
what?
files. Button. Screen curtain off.
Voila,
That
there we
did it.
go.
Agents to the rescue.
See, look at that. Look at that. And anybody who has done screen share knows, turn your screen curtain off. Wow. And Amanda, you are correct. Agents to the rescue. So here's our home screen. We'll go over it in the quick tips, but let's
Selected.
say I
Usage.
now want
Tab
to
2 of 4.
go
Button.
back in and rate a call. So I'm going to go to my usage down here at the bottom. It's the second one from the left. Double tap.
Usage. Heading.
And I'm going to
Your
go
next 5
down
minutes free call is a
here
bit minute breakdown. Call history.
to
Button.
call history.
Back. Button.
And we're just going to do a single finger swipe.
Call history. Heading. Monday, August 14th, 2023 at 4:32 p.m. Agent. Harmony. Duration. 3 minutes 26 seconds. Tap to read your feedback. With feedback. Button.
Now you see that one has feedback. Let's go to one that doesn't.
Sunday, August 13th, 2023 at 1:02 p.m. Agent. Kelsey. Duration. 20 minutes 21 seconds. Tap to provide feedback to Aira. Button.
All right, well, we will do that. We're going to double tap.
Back. Button.
Now, what we heard from folks was that focus was a problem. And so we see that here that we start up at the upper left with the back button, but
Feedback. Heading. How was Agent Kelsey? Agent rating. Adjustable.
now our agent rating, we're going to do a single finger swipe up.
Excellent. Good. Average. Bad.
Well, Kelsey was actually excellent. So,
Average. Good. Excellent.
okay, and I'm just going to leave that.
Any comments? Text field.
If I do a single finger swipe right from that, I'm in a comment box where I can do all sorts of things. I can either dictate, I can type in with a Bluetooth keyboard or Braille display. I'm going to go past that.
Thank Agent Kelsey. Switch button. Off.
Now, we're probably, Jodi, am I correct in that we're probably going to remove this because it's one of those, now that we have the excellent rating, this is a little bit redundant, right?
You got it.
All right.
How was the
now,
Aira app?
how was the Aira app?
App rating. Adjustable.
Same thing, single finger swipe up.
Excellent. Good. Average. Bad. Average. Good.
And we'll keep it on good. And I can just swipe once.
Any comments? Text field.
And there we have any comments about the app. Now, why is it important to put in comments about the app as well as the agent? If there is something that you feel could have gone better or something that you really, really thought the agent did well or that the app did well based on maybe past experiences, whatever, that were not so good, please, please put it in there. Jodi reads these every day, right? Especially the app responses, anything about the app that is not going well for you or that is now working and that you're appreciative of, please put it in here. This is how we log all of your things that you want us to fix, things that are not going correctly on your particular device. So it's really important that you give your feedback. Now, okay, I've taken my finger off the screen. I don't want to swipe, so I'm just going to go down
Submit.
to the
Submit
lower
button.
right corner of my screen. And if you use the old feedback procedure, you know that submit button, you had to swipe and swipe. So we're just going to double tap.
Loading. Thank you for your feedback.
Voila, and there we go. So that is just one of the new and interesting things.
Stop screen share.
There we go. We're going to stop our screen share. And that was just one of the things that we're going to talk about in these quick tips on IraCast. So stay tuned. And I'm sure we will have some more of these coming up with all the work that the dev team is doing. Well, what say we answer some questions or take some questions? Do we have anything in our chat here or in
We do.
YouTube?
We have a question in our chat here. It's from Jim. Jim says, you mentioned that NFB and ACB prices would not be going up next year. What about the prices for CCB or the Canadian Council of the Blind prices for their members?
Oh, good question, Jim, because I just answered this one. Actually, they will not be going up either. They are community plans and they will stay the same. So if you have one of those plans, you can keep that until I believe it's January 2025. You can keep that. And if there are new members of those organizations, they will get a discount on our 2023 plans. Just call customer care and they've got all the information. They can help you out.
Hey, Janine, let's go one step further. None of the prices, doesn't matter what organization you belong to, none of the prices are going to increase. So it doesn't matter. You just know that your prices are going to stay the same through January 2025, and who knows what we'll do at that point. So, feel a lot safer about that.
Yes. Got to get my sound effects going for the next next call. All righty. Do we have other questions?
We have Janine, we have a couple of hands up. Sid, if you want to cue them up, maybe start with Austin.
Sure.
Okay, stand up.
Austin, we know you've been waiting quite a while, so.
Austin, you are connected. Please unmute if you've got your microphone muted.
There we go. I think we had you for a second, Austin.
I'll tell you what, while we get Austin set up, we'll go to the next person in line. That person is Jeff M. If you can go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Hello, Jeff. You're having the elusive mute button today. In there.
Okay, there we are.
There you go. Hi there.
Okay. Hi. So a little while ago, I was trying to use Aira to use Metro Transit in Minneapolis. And no one ever answered the phone. I had to call like 3 times before I finally found got connected to a person. And there used to be like some kind of a ringtone kind of thing that told me that, they were trying to track down an agent. I don't hear that anymore. And I don't know if that's something with my phone speaker, or is that something that you dimmed down or got rid of? The kind of tone indicator that says that you're, I'm on hold waiting for an agent.
Hey, let's see, who would like to take that? One thing that I can tell you, Jeff, is make sure that you are using the most current version of the Aira Explorer app. If that's the one you're using, we are not updating the legacy app any longer. I don't believe, Jodi. I think I'm right on that. But please make sure if you are using the Aira Explorer app that you're using the most recent version, which is 1.12.5.
Yeah, I'm using the Aira Explorer, and it is the latest update.
Okay, great. Then what I would suggest you do is send a note with your model of phone in it and some of the information to support@aira.io so that we can look into it and see.
Hey, Janine,
Yes.
one of the things too, we noticed that it's happening with certain Bluetooth headphones. We don't know which
Yes.
ones yet, but we know that it's happening with certain Bluetooth headphones. It doesn't
Yes.
happen with all of them. Like I have, the Beats headphones by Dr. Dre that I use, and I also use the Aftershocks, the OpenCom, and both of those, I'm not having that issue, but we definitely have heard of some folks having that issue.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can check your sound settings and make sure that they're up. We did not deactivate that. We know that it's working. So
Still working. However, like we said, we are having intermittent difficulties, which is why Jodi mentioned that we are working to perfect that experience, because yes, that's really the only way you know that you are definitely on hold. And again,
Jeff, remember, don't hang up, because if you hang up, you lose your place in line. So stay on.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so who do we have next?
Okay, Autumn, I'm going to unmute you. Autumn, you should be able to speak. Please unmute.
Hi, Autumn.
Hello. I also am having the same problem Jeff is having. I'm not really using any Bluetooth headphones or any of that. I'm just using the Aira Explorer app as normal. And I have updated it to its latest version, but I'm also noticing that when I call an agent, it like the ringtone, it rings. So I know that I'm still able to get connected to an agent, but then the ringtone ends up dropping.
Hey, and what type of phone do you have, Autumn?
The iPhone SE 2020.
Okay.
2022.
Ah, great. And all of this is fantastic for us to know which phones this is happening on, because as Jodi mentioned, there are a ton of devices out there, and I believe that might be one of them that we've been trying to investigate some of the difficulties with. So, folks, if you haven't been able to make a call, or if you've had this happen on a call, please put that in the comments about the app. And if you've already rated your call and you can't go back in and do that, please send us a note at support@aira.io and just put in feedback in the subject, and that will get it to the people that it needs to go to. All righty, we can take a couple more if we have a couple more folks.
All right, we'll see if we can, we'll try again with Austin. Austin, if you can unmute.
There you are, Austin. Hi there.
Okay, I have the similar problem with what I'm looking at the photos. When I open it, when I share it, it's put it to my earpiece, not the headphone or anything. And it's like, what's going on? And I have an iPhone 12 Max. I have.
Okay.
So I don't know why it's doing that.
And you have updated to the latest version?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, great. All righty. Well, what I can tell you is to let us know all of the statistics about what you're using, your type of phone. If you are also on the iOS 17 beta, please let us know about that as well. The newest iteration of the public beta has caused a lot of apps some issues with audio as I'm reading things. So that could be something that could be affecting some folks as well. We are not going to fix anything yet for the beta. We're going to wait until they've got a final version of that in beta, and when that will be coming out for the public release. So I think I can be pretty safe in saying that, Jodi. Anyway, please, again, support@aira.io. All righty. Can we go to Debbie?
Sure. Stand by a moment.
Ready? Hi, Debbie.
Debbie, you're online.
Hello, I'm here
Hey,
now.
there you are. Hi there.
Hey, good seeing you at the convention, but
Yeah.
I had heard that several people were disappointed that the hotel was not an Aira access. And I know you can't do all of it, but so that's one thing I heard, and I'm hoping that the Krugers, that more Krugers get Aira access. And on the Starbucks, is that just through starbucks.com that's been extended, or it's not with the Uber Eats or anything like that, correct?
Not in the main Uber Eats app, but if you are ordering Starbucks and it is delivered by Uber Eats, then you absolutely can use that offer. And your agent will have some information on that too. So if you're not sure, you can definitely ask.
Okay.
And we are certainly hoping that Kroger offer extends throughout the country. And that would be also all of Kroger's subsidiaries, all of their stores that they own under different names. So we are definitely hoping that that will be the case.
And one thing, Debbie, to help with hotels for conventions, you utilize your ACB board and your NFB board and your convention chair people. Tell them that you want Aira at the hotel, so they can negotiate it in the contract, which can be done. And so that's what we need your help to urge the leadership of both ACB and NFB to try to get Aira baked into the contract when they're working with those hotels, so we can provide Aira access at the hotels for conventions. This goes on a national level, but also on the state level for state conventions.
Yep, absolutely. And that was something that we noted too at ACB when that came up, was please tell the hotel about Aira and tell them that you would like to have this, and whether they negotiated it as part of the contract, whether the hotel management takes it, up the chain to whichever hotel chain you happen to be at. It's really important. And when they see it in action, that really helps them to say, look, this really helped our guests out. We need to do this as a hotel chain. So, all righty. So,
Janine, we have another question, and this one's coming from YouTube.
Fabulous.
This one from Anthony. He says, are both apps merging, the new one with the old one, or do you have to create a new account under the new app, or did you log in with your credentials from the new app?
Oh, that is a great question. And actually, Anthony, it's not really merging, but all of your account details will port over from the old app to the new one. So if you can have right now until September 1st, you can download the legacy app if you don't have it, but we encourage you to grab the new app. You can run both apps whenever you like. You can't, of course, run them simultaneously, but you can certainly switch between the two. Your credentials will stay. We will occasionally have you sign out of the apps from time to time. However, everything should be the same, except for, of course, the new features that are in the new app. So go ahead. If you haven't downloaded the new one, go ahead and do it and see how that affects your experience. I think you're really going to like it.
And Janine, just a reminder, it's Jodi, that in the new app, we have both your phone or your email that you can.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You can now sign up via email. And when you do give us your email, then you get in the system. If we don't already have it, you're going to get in the system to be able to get any of our communications as well that we send out to our customers.
Yeah. And one last little reminder too, hearing everyone's comments about some of the issues with that, I'm hearing that you're saying that you have the new update installed. It's sounding like old versions of that. So just to make sure you always have the most updated version, as we've been actively listening, it's very important that you make it. It would be helpful if you go and turn on automatic updates on your iPhone. So to do that, you just go to settings, you tap on the App Store, and then you turn on or off, but you turn on your app updates. That will make it automatic. So you don't even have to worry about that. And you'll always know you have the latest version. So, and like I said, as you give support a call or, submit feedback, we can always look into where you're at, but make sure that you are updated.
Absolutely. And we have time for one more question before we go. Who will it be? Do we have anything in the Q&A or anything else on YouTube?
We do not, but it looks like Autumn has raised her hand again.
Oh, sure. Okay, Autumn.
Stand by. Autumn. Let's see if you're on. There you go. You should be ready.
Okay. I also just had one more question about the payments for just regular Explorers. Will that change or no?
So if you have a
No.
current, if your
No.
current plan will not change.
Okay.
Yep. So if you are on a plan from 2022, that is not going to change until January of 2025. And who knows by then what it will be. So yeah, celebrate. I need a party noise right there. Well, folks, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight and listening to everything that we have. This meeting will be in our podcast feed probably either tomorrow or early Friday. We are going to a bi-monthly schedule now. So our next call, and I dropped the Braille calendar on the floor earlier. There it is, the Braille calendar, yay. And our next call will be on October 18th. Now, October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month, NDEAM, for everybody who is working in the employment space. And so we are probably going to be talking about employment and how Aira is working with a lot of employers around the country. So stay tuned for that. Plus all of course, the app updates and all of our other great things. I want to thank first, of course, the head guy, Troy Otillio. Thank you so much, Troy, for coming this evening and talking to everybody.
Thank you.
Everette Bacon. Thanks, Everette.
Thanks, everyone.
Jodi Barthel. Thank you, Jodi, for coming and hanging out with us.
Of course, always a pleasure. Thanks, Janine.
Giving us all the good news about what we've got. And I'd like to thank everybody from Aira who came out tonight to listen to your concerns. Even though you didn't hear from them, they are listening. Trust me. All right. Well, I am Janine Stanley. Until October 18th, same time, same station. I will be talking to you then. Have a wonderful September.